So email delivery issues are typically related to settings somewhere in your domain name. However, it takes two to tango. And unfortunately, when you send an email, even if you've got all of your settings correct on your side as the sender, sometimes it may end up in someone's spam. Now, there's a number of things that you can do to make sure that you've done everything correct on your end of the spectrum, and I'll take you through those. You do also probably want to have a chat to the person on the receiving end of the email, have them check spam, have them check with their IT department or their IT consultant to see if they're receiving all of their emails okay, because that may be a factor in you not having things, arriving safely in their inbox when you want them to. So how do you check that everything is happening correctly on your side? Well, the easiest way to do that is to head along to a tool called mxtoolbox.com, and this is going to check all of your mailbox settings. So you can go ahead and type in your domain name into MX Toolbox, and that's going to give you a little report and let you know whether or not, first of all, your incoming mail settings are set correctly. So it's going to check your what's called MX records. It's going to give you green ticks there if you've got things configured there correctly. But there's three other areas that you actually want to check, and these are your sending settings. You want to make sure that you've got your sending settings correct for that to work. So let's go to first, we'll check SPF. This is the most basic of sending settings. What that does is it makes sure that you've got permission to send on behalf of your domain from the email service provider that you're using. So in our case, we're using Google, and you can see that Google is here on the list of allowed senders. So that means that we can send from Google with our domain name. Great. You can see here there's some other ones like Infusionsoft, Zendesk, other tools that we are using. All right, let's go then and have a look at our next one, DKIM. DKIM is an authenticator. Looks like there may be an issue here, or maybe I need to feed it some information to actually test whether or not it's working. It appears that I do. Okay, I won't bother with that for now. But DKIM is important to set up because that is, let's say, an extra layer of authentication to say that yes, this email is really coming from me. Imagine DKIM is a little bit like in the old days when someone sent snail mail and they gave a wax stamp on that. This is a little bit like a wax stamp. It's saying, hey, you know what? This has actually come from us. This has actually come from Google's servers. Because someone can pretend to be Google if they want. They could say that they're Google, but this gives the virtual wax seal to say that we are actually sending from an authenticated place. And then the final one is something called DMARC. Now, DMARC is more actually managing the incoming email coming into your domain. It manages and makes sure that no one is spamming. But DMARC not only says what to do when spam emails are coming into your domain, like how do you handle them, but it also manages if someone's pretending to be you on the internet, how is that handled? Do the emails get quarantined? Do the emails get stopped in their tracks? Do you just get a report into your mailbox about the emails, but no adverse action happens? And so DMARC, think of that as like the email police for your domain. It's going to check anyone in the world pretending to be you, and you're going to have options on how you handle if you find out that someone is pretending to be you, or, of course, if the tool finds out that someone is pretending to be you. Now, if you don't have all three of those configured correctly, SPF, DKIM, and DMARC, then unfortunately, some email servers will reject your emails. And both Google and other email providers have recently started cracking down on everybody sending, especially bulk email, but any emails on the internet, to enforce that if you don't have these settings set up correctly, well, you need to basically do it. Otherwise, they're not going to deliver your emails. And so what that has resulted in is, unfortunately, some emails just blanket going to people's spam. Now, if you want to have a crack at this yourself, you're very welcome. I wouldn't recommend it. It takes a long time. But if you want to have a crack at this yourself, we actually have a email masterclass. It's a full 30-minute training on how to get your DNS set up correctly. Just search DNS on our channel. You'll see here how to fix and check your DNS and MX records. That is a full half-hour guide on exactly how to set up each one of those that I just mentioned. But if you want to move a little bit faster than that, you can head along to itgenius.com. We cover this in our quick fix product. So head along to the quick fix page for you to have our team just do it for you. They'll do a check for free if you want, before you even have to pay for this. Just jump on a live chat and chat to our team. But if you want us to jump on and fix it, our team are literally waiting right now. They're online. If you click the button here, you go to a checkout page and you can start chatting to our team right now without even having to wait, as long as it's during business hours. And our team will just set this up for you. You send us your DNS records, pay us a couple $100, and we'll get it fixed up for you. So if you're interested in making sure that your DNS settings are correct, or maybe you've got a problem with spam, either emails aren't coming in correctly, or someone's pretending to be you on the internet, or you're sending emails and they're not landing in someone's mailbox, DNS is probably where it's at. 9 times out of 10, it's DNS, unless they've got a problem with their mail server on the other end, which is a possibility, but that's pretty rare. If you need more help with what we've covered in this video, itGenius provides support services to businesses all over the world with problems just like this. Click the link below to get started.